You don't need to wait for your permanent resident application to come out before you relocate to Canada. That is one very, very interesting thing about this program. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ethel, and this channel I talk about how you can immigrate to Canada as a permanent resident, as a student, as a visitor, and all those good stuff, and life generally in Canada. So if you love content like this, please consider subscribing to this channel. And without wasting much of your time, let's get into this video. So guys, today I'm going to walk you through step by step of how you can immigrate to Canada through the Rural North Immigration Pilot, MOSJO. So MOSJO is one of those communities that are participating in this Rural North Immigration Pilot program. I'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about the city of MOSJO. So MOSJO is the fourth largest city in Saskatchewan, Canada. MOSJO is an industrial center, an important railway junction for agricultural produce. So the first thing you have to do is to make sure you meet the IRCC eligibility requirements. I've made a video about that. I'm going to link that. Maybe if you've not watched that video, I encourage you to go and watch that one first and come back and watch this one. That way you will understand what I mean by you have to meet the IRCC eligibility requirement. Now, after you've met that requirement, the next thing you want to do is to go to the MOSJO Rural North Immigration Pilot and create an online candidate profile or log into your existing account. Now all you have to do is to upload any relevant document you wish to include in your profile. These documents include but are not limited to your IRCC-recognized language test, your copies of your Canada education credentials or equivalent, your resume, your whatever it is you have, your reference letter, your recommendation letter from your past work experience. Make sure you upload all this information, because just imagine that a lot of people are applying for this program. So you have to give all the details you need so that you will be chosen among those that will be given the opportunity to come and apply through this program. Now, the next thing you want to do is, if you meet the RIN, if you meet the Rural North Immigration Pilot Federal eligibility criteria, you will be applying for the job in MOSJO. Remember, I am talking about this community in MOSJO. So MOSJO is in Saskatchewan, like I said earlier, and if you meet those requirements for the federal, if you meet the federal eligibility criteria, now you will be able to apply for the MOSJO Rural North Immigration program. So all jobs are posted on the MOSJO Rural North Immigration Program website. I'm going to leave the link to that website in the description box, so just look out for that. And they are confirmed as eligible for MOSJO Rural North Immigration Program. Now, if a job is not posted on the MOSJO Rural North Immigration Program website, it means that the job has not yet been screened by the RNIP committee to ensure it meets the MOSJO RIN eligibility criteria, and therefore will not be qualifying job. So that's I think I said that in the other video. So like in Canada, there are requirements for this job to be posted, and one of the requirements is that they have offered it to people already in Canada and they couldn't find anyone to fill that position. That is basically what they're talking about here. If you have an employer who feel maybe you're already in Canada, or you have someone who wants to hire you from overseas, and all you have to do is to inform your employer. Okay, maybe he has proofs that he has been submitting his advert, he has been posting an advert on the internet and people are not applying, or he has not been able to find someone who qualifies for that job. All you have to do is to encourage a person or your employer, whoever it is, to submit the application to the Rural North Immigration Program, depending on which community you are in. Make sure that the community that this employer works, or his office or his business is among those that have Rural North Immigration Pilot Program. Interested employers can contact the program coordinator to schedule a job screening meeting to determine if the job vacancy is eligible for the MOSJO RNIP. Now the next thing you have to do is to log into your account and submit your application to the job posted on the website if you have the experience. So before you submit your resume, make sure your resume is in English or in French, because the two official language we have here in Canada is English and French. So if you're from another language, you have to look for someone who can help you translate your CV to either English or French. It's also highly recommended that you submit a cover letter in English or in French in addition to your resume when applying to the job. Okay, the cover letter, with the cover letter introduces you to the company, and it contains information that motivates the reader to review your resume. So the cover letter is more like a selling point where you can tell them about yourself, or your interests are. On your resume is you have to make sure that your resume has your full name, your contact information, your full education history, your full work history, including a brief description of the duties you did while employed at the listed job. Now you also have to highlight your skills, your personal interests. Is optional. You also have to state, pay attention here, you have to state 3 reference, preferably work related reference, which include the name, the position, their phone numbers, including their country code and their email address. Okay, so the next thing here is that applicants now will undergo employer screening when they are invited to do so by the employer, offering this job in the most rural north immigration pilot. So a successful candidate received a qualifying job offer from employer on IRCC from IMM 5984. So your employer will have to give you an employment or a job offer, and that job offer must be in the IMM 5984. Then you will then apply to the MOSJO RNIP for a community recommendation on the IRCC form 1MM 5911 via the process established by the selection committee. So if you create your profile in this MOSJO website, one thing you have to know that is you are free to apply to 3 different jobs at the same time. So maybe you were chosen for one of those jobs. Basically is the one that you are chosen, to come and is the one that the committee decided that okay, you qualify. That's the one you're going to use to apply. That's basically what they are saying here. Now the next thing is the selected committee reviews the community recommendation application against the federal mandatory eligibility. That is why I said at the beginning of this video that the first thing you have to make sure is you meet the federal eligibility. It is mandatory, because if you don't meet the federal eligibility and you apply and you go through all these hurdles, you go through all these hurdles and get to this stage, they will verify and make sure you meet those requirements, and if you don't meet those requirements, then your application will be tossed by the side. So make sure you pay attention to that video that I have created. Please pay attention to that video and make sure you have every of those information so that you will make sure you met all the requirements before applying here. So candidates that meet the minimum amount of community points we undergo further assessment, including an application interview in person or through video call, to confirm their intent to reside there in the community. Again, I've said this before, the purpose of this program is that they want to make sure that people immigrate to those cities, because in these cities they need people in those cities. So you will have to undergo another interview so that you confirm to them that you assure them that you are going to live in that city when you immigrate to Canada. Now the next thing that will happen is, on a monthly basis, the selection committee review the highest score committee recommendation applications and make one of the 3 decisions. They approve committee recommendation, they place the committee recommendation on hold, they either decline or to issue a committee recommendation. Now committee recommendation applications are placed on hold. Committee recommendation applications that are placed on hold, we undergo consideration for up to 6 consecutive months. from the day of the application. While on hold, the applicant will be considered for community recommendation in each of the monthly assessment period occurring during the consideration period. Now, the next thing is, at the end of 6 months, the application will no longer be under consideration. At this time, the applicant may decide to submit or upload application for recommendation. This will require employer who originally provided the qualifying job to offer may also wish to issue you a new job offer. The candidate may secure a new job offer from a different position posted in MOSJO Rnip. So if you've applied for 6 months and you've gone through the process and you don't qualify, then they're going to close your application. So one of these following things will happen is either the person that gave you the job offer, the employer that gave you the job offer, will reissue you another job offer, or you yourself will go and look for another job offer by applying to the job on the MOSJO website, actually the one you qualify for. And the next thing is, so what I'm saying in essence, if you've gone through this process and after 6 months you have not heard anything, it's now your responsibility to reapply or to follow up with your employer to ask them, okay, can you still give me this? And they'll go through the processing. If your application is not put on hold, or it's not discarded, or it's not issued, the next step is you and your employer, the employer that provided you with the job offer, are advised of the selection committee decision regarding your application for the committee recommendation. So if you receive a recommendation, the selection committee completes the recommendation form and provides a recommendation certificate for you. And this is the deal. Deal is sealed here. Once they provide a recommendation certificate for you, you're on your way to go and apply for your permanent resident. So the next thing is, you will then submit a complete permanent resident application directly to Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, that is the IRCC, through the Rnip immigration program, which is the Rural North Immigration Pilot Program. So the MOSJO community recommendation certificate must accompany your application. Once you're submitting your application through the IRCC, which is the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, you make sure you attach or you include your your certificate of recommendation from MOSJO. Now the next thing after that is an IRCC confirms the permanent resident application is complete or return the application to you to provide missing documents. There is no time. Don't allow them to return your application to you. Make sure you go through the requirements and you submit every of the documents that is required of you. Okay, once a complete application is received, then the IRCC assess the permanent resident application per their normal review process. Now, once you have applied for the permanent resident under the Rnip, you may also be eligible for a temporary work permit. This is pretty interesting. A temporary work permit approval allows you to come to MOSJO and start working. So it's pretty interesting how this process really works. And I don't know if people really are taking advantage of this opportunity. Now, you don't need to wait for your permanent resident application to come out before you relocate to Canada. That is one very, very interesting thing about this program. Now, with this program, once you've gotten your recommendation, you are eligible for for work permit. So it's up to you to now come to Canada with your family and start working, if that is what you desire, right? You just come to MOSJO and start working. So this is really, really interesting. Or in this situation, that they can give you a temporary visa and you come in and start working, which is pretty interesting, while you wait for the decision on your permanent resident application. This is really cool. And the next thing you have to do is, once you and your family, if applicable, begin life in Canada, once your temporary work permit is approved or your permanent residency application is approved, whichever comes first, the employer and a community representative connects you and your family with services and connections to support your settlement in Moisture. Guys, I think this is a pretty interesting opportunity, and guys, I'm going to take you people to the website right here so that you guys can see for yourself, you know, some of the opportunities that are available in Moisture right now. So as you can see here, there are so many job opportunities right here. We can see carpenter 1, floor covering installer. We have here chiller brew pub, they are looking for cook. We have chiller brew pub, they are looking for food service supervisor. We have the Condra Bros Transport, they are looking for long haul truck driver. We have the Peter Pit, they're looking for food service supervisor. We have the Rock Ports Carrier Co. Is it International Incorporation? I don't know. They're looking for long haul truck driver. We have the Urban Sellers, they're looking for retail sales supervisor. Okay, so when you click on one of those jobs, I just click on this one, you can see this is a carpenter carpet one. So they are looking for floor covering installer. So if you know how to do that, then you can apply for this job. They talk about their history here. They've been working in operation for 22 years. Work mentor provided. Yes, they're going to give you a work mentor, somebody who's going to guide you through the process until you become very, very comfortable with the job. And it's full-time job. They're willing to pay you between $20 to $25 per hour. And here is just the review of the job. Again, I'm going to leave the link to this place in the description box so that you guys can go check this thing out and see if you qualify. And if you qualify and you meet all the other requirements, why not give this a try? So another thing people can do is to come over to this place and take a look at all of this job requirement. I mean, all of these jobs that have been posted here. If you qualify for any of them, why not you go ahead and apply. Guys, I will be stopping here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends and family. And if you love content like this, do me well to subscribe as well. And see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.